Amanda with Northern Yards and Gardens, and today I am sharing with you a very new and exciting introduction to the Endless Summer collection of hydrangeas. This is the Hydrangea macrophylla group of plants that comes from the Endless Summer collection, and they have, for the spring of 2019, introduced a new variety called Summer Crush. And so I have one here next to me, and you can see just how very deep colored raspberry pink these blooms are, and a huge size. So like in comparison to my hand, you can see that the bloom is actually like quite a bit larger than my hand. So these huge balls of raspberry pink blooms. Now in the South Dakota area, we do sometimes struggle to grow this variety of hydrangeas, this species of hydrangeas, the Hydrangea macrophylla. But one of the things about this is that they're not really stem hardy to zone 4, and so we end up struggling with that. One of the problems that we have with the big leaf hydrangeas, the Hydrangea macrophyllas, is that a lot of times the stems die to the ground in our dry, harsh winters. And it's not that the plant isn't hardy, it's just that it can't really deal with our dry conditions around here, but that's okay with the Endless Summer because they're a reblooming hydrangea. So that means even if the stems die, the new stems are going to grow up in the next spring, and those stems will still produce blooms. So if you're concerned about growing this plant and not getting blooms out of it, it shouldn't be a problem around here. We just need to keep the roots alive. It will be a little bit longer in the spring before we get blooms than if our stems do stay alive, but we're still going to get a nice show of flowers out of this plant. Now, this plant too is going to fit in everyone's yard. You have room for this plant. It's only going to be like 2.5 to 3 feet tall and wide, which is quite small for a big leaf hydrangea. And in fact, if you're not sure if you have room in your landscape itself for this, you can actually put it in a pot, and it's going to give your patio so much life and character. Just make sure you keep it watered, because hydrangeas do prefer quite a bit of moisture, and I guess the same would go if it's in your yard. Make sure you're watering this plant. So just if you want more information about the new Summer Crush Endless Summer Hydrangea that's being released this spring, it's first going to be available in garden centers this spring. Go to the endlesssummerblooms.com website, and they have videos about this. They have lots of information, and there's even a retail locator on the site there, so you can type in your zip code, and that will show you the garden centers in your area that's going to have this plant available in spring of 2019. Now this particular plant that you see, I'm going to put in my own yard, and we'll see what happens here in the next year. So we'll check in with it every once in a while and see how it's doing, and then you can see what it's going to look like when it's in the yard. So stay tuned for more information about the Summer Crush. So the Hydrangea macrophyllas, the big leaf hydrangeas, is the type of hydrangea that you can change the color of the bloom by the pH of the soil. So acidic soil is going to give us blue blooms, while alkaline soil is going to be pink. Now up here in the northern area that we are in, South Dakota, Minnesota, we have very alkaline soil. You can try to amend your soil to get the blue blooms, but around here you can pretty much assume that you're just going to have pink blooms if you don't do anything for your soil. Now on this plant, because this pink is so stunning and so outstanding, that's just fine. I would be perfectly happy with pink blooms in my garden. And so I think when you go to buy this in the garden center, just know that that's what you're going to have is pink, without doing some significant amending to your soil of your garden. There are products out there called Color Me Blue from the Endless Summer line that you could use to try to get your soil more acidic to get that blue bloom. And really on this plant, it's not even going to be a true blue. It's more of like a really dark purple indigo color. If that's something you're interested in, maybe what I would suggest is to actually plant it into your patio pot, because then you have more control over the soil that's in there. You know, when we use a potting mix instead of just the soil that's in our yard, we can control a little bit more what exactly is in that soil, what the pH is, and then when we use a product like Color Me Blue, we might have a better chance of actually amending the pH of the soil to the point that we have acidic enough soil to get that deep, deep purple color on here. So be on the lookout for this plant in your garden center in spring of 2019, and it'll be easy to find because all Endless Summer hydrangeas are in a blue pot. This one included, so you can see here, this is the pot you're going to be looking for when you are in the garden center this spring, and be on the lookout for the new Summer Crush Endless Summer Hydrangea. If you have any more questions about this plant or just comments, make sure you leave a comment below my video here, and I'll get back to you if you have any questions. We'll try to get them answered for you, or I'll maybe direct you onto someone who can answer your question. And if you like this video, make sure you subscribe so that you can see more from Northern Yards and Gardens.